beginning of a relationship with a narcissistic person often feels like a fairy tale. But underneath that dazzling surface, there are subtle and sometimes not so subtle warning signs that something is fundamentally wrong. And these are the early red flags that in hindsight were telling us the truth all along. In this video, we are going to break down the specific red flags to look for at the very beginning of a relationship. Let's start. A red flag is not just a minor personality difference. They are patterns of behavior that strategically hide a lack of empathy or a sense of entitlement or a need for control. From a psychological perspective, these early signs are directly linked to core traits of narcissistic personality disorder. The challenge is that in the idealization phase, these behaviors are often packed as something positive. For example, possessiveness can be mistaken for passionate love, and charming can blind us to their private cruelty. Understanding these red flags is not about being cynical, but it's about being able to recognize those unhealthy patterns before they become abusive. So let's do a deep dive into some of the most critical early red flags. The first one that we're going to see is rapid idealization and love bombing. We've covered this topic in our last video, but it is the most significant early red flag. It's an overwhelming flood of attention, compliments, and grand gestures that feel too good to be true. For example, only a week or two into dating, your partner may declare that you are the most amazing person they have ever met and you are their soulmate. They may even say that I've never met somebody like you before and I feel like I have known you for my entire life. While this can be incredibly validating, a healthy relationship builds intimacy and trust over a period of time, not overnight. A healthy partner, a non-narcissistic partner, will appreciate you, but they won't put you on a pedestal they can't possibly keep you on. The second red flag that you can look for is inability to handle even gentle criticism. Narcissistic people have an extremely fragile ego. Any form of criticism, no matter how small or constructive, is perceived as a personal attack. For example, you gently mention to your partner that you felt a bit uncomfortable when they made a joke at your expenses in front of a family member or in front of their friends. If it is a non-narcissistic partner, they would apologize and try to understand the situation from your perspective. But in the case of a narcissistic person, they often react with rage or silent treatment, or by flipping the script and accusing you of being too sensitive or unsupportive. This disproportionate reaction to a feedback or a disagreement is a very big red flag. The other thing that you can look for is a two-faced behavior. This is a crucial sign that their charm is a mask. A narcissist often has one face for the public and another one for their private. For example, your partner may be the life of the party, charming, charismatic, funny, and everyone loves this person. But in private, it's very different. Their mood shifts dramatically. They might become withdrawn, irritable, or even cruel. They might be rude and dismissive to restaurant staff. When they are in the public presence, they will become charming again. This inconsistent behavior is a sign that this person they are presenting to you and the world is not their authentic self, and they are cleverly managing these two behaviors to protect their image. The other red flag that you can look for is a sense of entitlement. A narcissist believes they are very special and deserve special treatment as well. They feel that rules do not apply to them, and they might consistently show up late without apology, expecting you to wait. They may believe that they are entitled for a promotion or special favors at work, even if they haven't earned them. This sense of entitlement extends to their romantic relationship as well, where they believe their partner's time, energy, and resources should be focused completely on them. The other red flag can be superficial emotions and lack of empathy. While they can mimic emotions, a narcissist often struggles with genuine empathy. They may not be able to connect with your feelings on a deeper level. For example, you had a bad day and you're feeling a bit low, and you share your feelings with your partner. Instead of listening and validating you, they quickly turn that conversation back to their own problems and dismiss your feelings altogether, saying like, that's not a big deal. You should see what my boss did today. This inability to truly connect with your emotional experience is a significant red flag. The other red flag is me versus the world mentality. They see themselves as the victim of a cruel world, and everyone else is to blame for their problems. For example, they are always telling you stories about how a friend betrayed them, how a boss being very unfair to them, and how their former partner was crazy. While everyone had bad experiences, a consistent pattern of viewing themselves as a perpetual victim is a red flag. It's a form of projection where they refuse to take any responsibility for their own actions and failure. In this video, I selected only few red flags. I want to say that the presentation of red flags in overt and covert narcissistic people can be slightly different, and we can explore that in the coming videos. So, if these red flags were so clear and significant, why we miss them? The answer lies in the intense emotional manipulation of the idealization phase. The initial phase is designed to be overwhelming and intoxicating. The neurochemical response we discussed earlier, the rush of dopamine and oxytocin, blind us to the red flags. And we are so invested in the fantasy that we ignore or rationalize those warning signs as and when it comes. The second reason is cognitive dissonance. Our minds have really difficult time holding two conflicting beliefs at once, and we want to believe that the person we are with is wonderful and perfect. When we see a red flag, our mind will often rationalize it to resolve this conflict. We might tell ourselves that, oh, they were just having a bad day today, or they were rude to the waiter, but they are kind to me. So it is probably not a big deal at this point in time. We make excuses for them because the alternative, that this person is not who we thought they were, is too painful to accept. The other reason why we ignore or miss the red flag is hope. Many of us have a deep-seated desire to see the best in people and to have a loving, healthy relationship. Narcissistic people strategically use this desire. They are skilled at projecting an image of a perfect partner, and we desperately want that image to be real. This makes us more willing to overlook their flaws in the hopes that they will eventually live up to the person they presented themselves earlier. Recognizing these red flags is not about being judgmental. It's about trusting your intuition. That unsettling feeling you had early on was your subconscious mind trying to tell you something wasn't right. So uncovering these patterns can be painful, I understand that. But I hope uncovering dynamics behind them provide you with a sense of clarity and validation. If this information has resonated with you, do share it with someone who might be navigating a similar experience. If you're interested in diving deeper with the long form content, you can find the links to my weekly newsletter and ebooks in the description below. In our next video, we will continue our exploration of narcissistic abuse. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video in the playlist. Take care.